Hi guys, I'm here on the ninth hole where we're just doing a little bit of starting to do a bit of drainage work. So the machine we've got here is a trencher, and it'll go as deep as 600 mil, but we're going just about 2 foot, which is deep enough for us. We found the old bunker drain, which was over here, the old bunker on the left hand side, and we ran some water down there and found that it was running really well, and it goes out into the ditch over there. So we've just started to trench down there. So this is the wet spot, the pinch point between the two bunkers, the two fairway bunkers there. And we're going to run a trench up there, and we're going to put a lateral one up there, and then another 5 meters, one up there, and another 5 meters, one up there. And then we just had a little bit of an extra wet spot over here. So off this lateral, we'll just put another little spur that way. Then we'll pipe it, fill it with gravel, right to up to about 3 or 4 inch. We want to make sure that this is draining really nicely, being effective. So we'll use like a sandy root zone, it's called, sandy soil, and then that'll get seeded. So we've got a hopefully dry area after that. If not, then we can start to do things like gravel band in between the what we call the laterals there, and that literally would just mean that every sort of 1 meter spacings we just put a little tiny trench to about 4 inch, just to get below the root zone surface, which would then connect into those drains. So really good start. It's going really well. Little bit of drainage work for a Monday morning. So this is the third green. We've had a real problem spot right in the middle of the green, pretty much where those larger boards are, and we've tried all sorts to try and get the water away, deep verti draining, filling with holes, getting the thatch out, and nothing's really worked. So as we had a bit of pipe and a bit of gravel and a bit on the ditch witch, the trencher, we thought we'd go for it, and we're just onto the middle stage now. We've got the pipe in, and the boys are now just slowly filling it up with gravel. They fill it up to the top 4 inch, the same as we did on 9, and then pure sand in. We've got all the turf just laid at the side of the green. Gone really well. We started this at 7:30 this morning, once we'd got everything in gear, and it's now 11:30, so easily be done by the end of the day, and hopefully this will sort it once and for all. I'm just here on the 13th now, where we're doing a bit more drainage investigation. So originally we'd found, that's the tee down there, we'd found a pipe that runs from the old bunker all the way down there and eventually goes off down the side of the 13th tee under the path, and I'll show you a bit more about what we found out down there later. But then we knew there was one coming up here as well, another spur, which we thought actually went down off that way, the other side of the tee. The whole point was that we wanted to use the drains that were already here if we need to do any more drainage to link in, saving us a bit of money, because that length of drainage would cost X amount. So we found it, and it runs off down this way, but then it looks like it's actually going to go off to 18th bunker. There might be another spur under here, but we had a big dig over there and we couldn't find it. But that's running, so that's useful. There's a little wet spot over there that we probably will just drain as a quick fix, because it's like a little spring there of some sort. And I'll just go down and show you down what we found down near the 12th pond. Okay, so now I've come down to behind 13th tee, where we wanted to investigate where the drains terminated. We dug a few holes. As you can see, we've hit a little bit of a snag, because what we found the pipe here. We kept digging along because we weren't sure. From the plans were a little bit they were wrong. They came and it showed them going and curving off down there, which we thought was a little bit weird. We thought it would come straight down, which is exactly what we found. In here we found the pipe, but we broke the pipe when we were finding it, so it's filled with water. Same again down here, and then it does turn a little bit and it comes out into the ditch. Our first move was to try and find the pipe at the end of the ditch, which didn't work, so we went down with the digger and just took off the sides. You can see there's a fair bit of the pond's gone a bit blue, because we were using blue dye to make sure that what we were getting out from the pipes was coming in. So we were finding that, we knew the water was coming in, but we couldn't find the pipe. So we eventually got to here, where we found a bit of a weird junction of pipes. But basically what the problem is that when it's so deep, it's about 4 foot, 3.5, 4 foot down there, and it goes out into the pond, so it's below the water level. So anything that comes down here, once it hits the level in the pipe, it's basically bubbling up and making all this area really wet. Now, that doesn't mean that any drainage work we do on 13, if we were to use that pipe, wouldn't work. It would work. It'd come down here and it would make this area wetter, so that we have to now figure out a way of how we solve this, because we can't be having this huge, great wet area here all the time. There's a few different solutions kicking around. We could increase the capacity of the pond, which is something that we've thought about doing in the past for playability. So we could even bring it out where we're stood here. We could bring it out in front of 12. We also found that there's a lot of silt in the bottom of the ditch, so we could take the silt out, which again would increase the capacity of the ditch and the pond together. Other one could be that we actually put a new drain in here, which would be above where the water level is now, and we link it in further up the hill into the drain that is already there, having to not all go all the way up the hill. So we're left with a few big holes. That's the problem now, which are full of water. Anything we put back in there, we need to fix the pipe in there first before we fill them. So we need to drain them out, fix them. So there might be a bit of a waiting game where we have to wait for the water levels to drop a bit. So there might be a little bit of mess here for a little while, but it has increased our knowledge of what's going on with the drainage on the course. We're in a better place than where we were a week ago.